right, so here's what we're covering today. Updates related to masks, social distancing, and more kids in the building. We have new lunch procedures that we need to go over. Some academic updates and what summer school might look like if you need it as a senior, but we're hoping you don't. Couple of reminders on hallways, dress code and passes, Chromebooks at the end of the year. How are you going to turn them in? Some senior student services stuff, and then some specific information for you as seniors and student council information as well. So again, if you have any questions, use the chat throughout this meeting. All right, here we go. I'll be quick, I promise. Masks. Many of you are fully vaccinated. Awesome. Many of you have heard now that because of the CDC guidelines, you don't need to wear a mask outside or maybe even inside in some places if you're vaccinated. Awesome. However, that does not apply to school. Schools are different. This is very clear in the guidelines that you need to be wearing your mask properly, covering your nose and your mouth at all times when you are in this building, aside from when you're eating your lunch. There are no exceptions to that rule, whether or not you're vaccinated, and that goes for students and for faculty, for adults, for staff. Okay, so please just remember that. If you're outside of school, you can follow the guidelines outside of school, but the guidelines in school for the rest of this year, masks worn at all times. Next question, or not question, next topic here, social distancing. So starting next week, you're going to notice a lot more desks in the classroom, and that's very exciting because we now have the ability with the new guidelines to have all of the students in our building who want to be here 4 days a week. They can come in 4 days a week. That's because we now can have desks 3 feet apart in the classroom. So actually starting tomorrow, you're going to see more desks in the classroom. And beginning Monday, many more students will have the ability to come in 4 days a week. Your parents already should have indicated whether they wanted you to come in 4 days a week or not via an email survey that was sent out to them. We're going to send out a confirmation email to everybody this afternoon. However, if you realize, oh, wait, I'm still in cohort 1, but I want to be here 4 days a week, just email us and let us know, and we can still change you to 4 days a week. The same goes if you're fully remote and you're like, I want to come back for the last month of my senior year. We want you here too. And you still can do that if you get vaccinated or something changes in your personal situation. Email your counselor, email me, call us, and let us know. And we can get you in 4 days a week. However, with us being closer than 6 feet now, we need to have seating charts. So something your teachers will be talking to you about is that you will have assigned seats in your classrooms. And the same goes if you ride the bus. You will have an assigned seat on the bus, and that is because of contact tracing needs. In the rare occurrence that a student does test positive, we need to know who was closer than 6 feet with them for 10 minutes or more. So that's where we go to that seating chart, and we may need to quarantine people in the event of a positive case. Again, however, if you are vaccinated, that would not apply to you. If you are a close contact of a positive case, but you have been fully vaccinated and you have your vaccine card, you would not need to quarantine. So that's just maybe one more reason to get vaccinated if you haven't done so yet. As far as lunches go, let's hop into lunches right now. Lunches are still 6 feet apart. You need to sit 6 feet apart at all times when you are in the cafeteria. That is still in the guidelines, and that's because you're eating, you're taking your mask off. So juniors and seniors, you are going to have dibs on the cafeteria. Starting next week on Monday, all juniors and seniors will eat lunch during their lunch period in the cafeteria. We're going to send the freshmen and the sophomores to the North Gym every day. This will make sure that there is enough seating for all of the juniors and seniors in the cafeteria. So every day you eat lunch, you will be eating lunch in the cafeteria as a senior. However, just remember that the areas need to be cleaned and disinfected before you sit down. So you're going to see our cleaning and our custodial staff cleaning up, disinfecting, spraying down, and wiping down desks. Just don't sit down until you've been given the okay from one of them or from one of the lunch monitors. It's okay if you want to put your bag down and reserve your seat and then get in line and get your food, but don't sit down until they've had full time to clean and disinfect, and just respect them and all of the work that they're trying to get done quickly in order to keep the day flowing and to keep things safe and healthy and sanitary. Again, you need to be 6 feet apart in that cafeteria. I know that urge might be there to squeak closer together and you want to be near your boyfriend or girlfriend. When you're in school, you got to be 6 feet apart. You should really only be sitting in an area with one of those stickers that are on the tables when you're eating. After you're done eating and you've thrown out your food and you've put your mask back on, we are okay with you being closer than 6 feet. But when you're eating and your masks are off, please keep 6 feet apart. I know it's tempting to kind of to creep in, but we need to be adherent to that, please. And again, we will be letting you go a few minutes early from lunch in order to clean and disinfect that area. Again, any questions, chat them in. Academics. This is a reminder to some seniors that when you're in class, you need to be in class physically. There is no option to log in remotely from the cafeteria or from the library or from a hallway or from your car. When you're in school, the expectation is that you are physically in your classes during those periods. We have seating for you. There is no more need for overflow. So starting Monday, this starts Monday. If I have been telling you to go to the library because we don't have a desk for you, that ends on Monday. We have desks for everybody who wants to come in 4 days a week. So there is no reason for you to log in remotely to any of your classes from the cafeteria, library, or anywhere else. If you're doing that, we're going to have a conversation about it and probably go the detention route, because this has been a bit of a problem for upperclassmen. I know senioritis, it feels like, man, there's only 20 days of school left. However, we need to finish strong. We need to end up on a good note, and we still need to be about our business in our classes. Like I said, 20 days. That's it, everybody. 20 school days left, but 4 of them are Wednesdays. So there's really only 16 days of the bell schedule left in your entire career of high school. That's it. So finish strong, go out on a good note, be in your classes, and physically be in your classes, not just remote into your classes. You need to be there. As far as eating outside goes, it's okay on a nice day if you're given permission to take your food and eat outside, but you need to clean up after yourself. But yeah, you'll be able to eat out in the front quad on a nice day. Take a look at this calendar, everybody. This is an important end of year calendar. It is available online on Tiger Times. We'll email it out to you again. But this shows you the last 2 weeks of school on an academic perspective. So the last day of classes where you follow the bell schedule is Tuesday, June 15th. So the 14th and 15th of June, regular period by period bell schedule. After that, it's remote only. So Wednesday the 16th, the expectation is that you still need to log into your remote homeroom for attendance purposes, and you still need to visit your teachers on office hours and check Google Classroom. For the most part, your teachers should be wrapping up new assignments by this date, June 15th. And then that means if you need to finish something up, if you haven't turned in a paper or you have a test you need to make up, Wednesday the 16th is the day to make that up. The 17th, there's no homeroom and there's really nothing you as a senior needs to do. That's kind of a day off unless you are really pushing it with getting your work in towards graduation. So I don't want you to think about the 15th rolls around and the last period, 9th period comes by and you go, oh, I'm done. That might not be the case if you have outstanding work that you need to pass a class to graduate. So it's important that you're clear on where you stand in all of your classes. See your counselor, talk with your teachers, come and see me. But again, just going back to the schedule, June 16th, that's a day of remote learning. You need to log in. You need to go to office hours. Attendance is taken in homeroom. The same goes for June 21st. That's the last official day of homeroom. That's a full remote day. All students do need to log in. Attendance will be taken. Office hours and Google Classroom, just wrapping up your end of the year things. That's kind of the last day to do all of that. And then we get into prom on the 22nd. Again, there's nothing for you as far as Regents exams go for seniors. So really after the 21st, you should be good to go unless you are a straggler with your assignments. But again, a month, less than a month. We're almost there, everybody. As far as summer school goes, shouldn't apply to most of you, but for a few seniors, if you do not have enough credits to graduate, if you failed English 12, if you failed economics, if you failed government, if you failed phys ed, you're probably not going to graduate. You're definitely not going to graduate in June, and you're going to need to come back in the summer to make up those credits to graduate in August. So again, I just want to be very clear with all of you seniors that if you don't pass all of your required classes, you're not graduating in June. You're not wearing the cap and gown. You're not going to that end of the year commencement in June. I would hate for that to be you, but it is a reality every year for a few seniors. And instead, you would need to clean some stuff up in the summer in order to graduate in August. So check your email, and you should be in close contact with your counselor if you're on the wire with academics, and more information to follow if that applies to you. Just keep checking your school email. You should be doing that every day, minimum twice, I would say. Again, some quick reminders. I'll be quick here. Hallways are still one way. Stairs are still up only and down only during passing time. We need to respect all of those protocols and procedures. We've done a nice job, but we can't get loose on the end here. We need to be smart about that with COVID and the health and safety protocols. As far as passes go, most of you have senior privilege, but if you do have study hall, you need to be in study hall. And if you want to go visit a teacher or a counselor, you need to get one of these blue passes, and it has to be pre-signed, and you have to check in with the study hall teacher before you go and see who you want to see. No pass, no go. Same goes with the library. We are going to open the library back up for junior, senior privilege, and definitely during lunch. So if you want to eat lunch quickly in the cafeteria and then go to the library, you can do that. However, you are going to need to go to see Ms. McMaster in the morning, check in, get a pass from her. It'll be a yellow pass that will allow you to go to see her in the library during a free period or during a lunch period. And then the dress code, a couple of reminders as we approach the end of the year. We still have a dress code. You can read it in the student handbook. The big one I wanted to emphasize are hoods. Hoods really should not be worn up over the head at any time. It's a safety thing. It's hard to identify kids, especially with masks. So we're going to look to crack down a little bit on the hoods, especially, and we will be asking you to put those hoods down. Any kind of questionable language on a shirt promoting alcohol, drugs, tobacco, not allowed to wear that. And then again, as the warmer weather comes around, be mindful of midriffs, visible underwear. That's stuff that you shouldn't be wearing in school, and you have to follow the dress code. And finally, Chromebooks. Then I'm going to turn it over to class advisors. Chromebooks do need to be turned in. If you don't turn in your Chromebook, you're not going to be given your diploma. So as far as Chromebooks go, the earliest they can be turned in is June 14th. That's a typo. That should say June 14th or 15th. If you have wrapped up all your work, you're 100%, you're done. On that 15th, you'll be able to turn your Chromebook and your charger and your stylist in. That stylist, if you haven't used that all year, you're going to want to dig that out and look for it because you do need to turn it back in. However, do not turn your Chromebook in on June 15th if you do not have a personal laptop or device to use, because you still need to log in and you might need to do work on Wednesday the 16th or Monday the 21st. So if you need to hang on to it, or if you're a full remote student, you can turn that Chromebook in during our drop-off days, which are June 17th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. We will have a drop-off station from 9 to 3 behind the school in the Westmoreland Loop. Come by, drop off your Chromebook, charger, stylist, and all your textbooks. We have to have all your district property. Otherwise, we will not be able to give you your diploma. You'll be allowed to go to graduation, but you're not going to get your diploma. So please just make sure you're turning in all of that stuff at the end of the year. Just a little reminder for that. We'll continue to communicate with you via email and announcements. Okay, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to student services. So I believe Ms. Scalzo, go ahead.
Yep, I'm here. I think Mr. Benton's here as well. So just a couple of reminders from us. So we are checking your grades all the time, and I hope you are all checking your grades too. Just with the weird year, some of you are down to the wire, and we want to make sure that there's no last minute surprises. So just stay on top of your classes. And if you have any questions, check with your teacher, check with your counselor. We want to make sure that you're also filling out the Google form that Mr. Benton sent out on May 26th. So double check for that form. It tells us, your counselor, where to send your final transcript. So if you're going to college, we need to mail your transcript once all of your senior grades are in. And if you don't fill that form out, your college won't receive the transcript. So just make sure, look back in your email, either search by Mr. Benton or search by date from May 26th. And if you need that form, just come down or let us know or shoot your counselor an email and make sure we fill that out. I think the rest of this is for other classes. So I think that was our main thing. Make sure you have your cap and gown set. Make sure I know Mrs. Martin and I have a couple more check-ins on other things, but cap and gown, I think those are the big things from student services.
Question, Mr. Benton, Ms. Gelzo, in that Google form you're talking about, kids want to know what email address should they put in, personal or school? I don't think it matters, but maybe I'm wrong.
Doesn't matter. No.
So yeah, whichever one, I would say probably school. That's how we're going to go and communicate with you. Okay.
Just to illustrate how much it doesn't matter is I'm not even sure why that question's in there. So don't worry about it, everybody.
Fair enough.
The important stuff is your destination, your final destination, because we're sending your transcript.
Yeah, get that in by May 26th. So that's next week. Look for that email from Mr. Benton. All right, and like I said, you need to be on top of your grades. You don't want to have any senior surprises here. Make sure you're passing everything. Be in contact with your counselor and your teachers. Okay, we've got some specific information about prom, graduation, parade of graduates. Just a couple of updates and reminders. Ms. Martin, Ms. Gelzo, Mr. Banis, Ms. Boyer, your show now for a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, so we've extended prom ticket sales through Friday. And at this point, we are really hoping that we can get this as a whole senior class event. We worked so hard, and thank you to Mr. Pigeon and Mr. Lonzak for allowing us to do this, because so many schools aren't doing a prom. And I know with every prom year, there's always drama over who to go with or where you're going to sit, but we're really looking at this as a big group event, and we just want to have you all together to celebrate how far we've come. So we're really hoping that by extending sales, that you will go on to RegWorks, fill that form out. If you don't know where to go, check in with Mr. Banis, Ms. Boyer, Mrs. Martin, Mr. Lonzak, myself. You can email us, check in with Mr. Thomas. He's accepting cash payments. I know there was a very small group of you that got waitlisted, and today, thank you to the senior that reached out to me. That small group of kids that got waitlisted is still having trouble getting their tickets. We are working on resolving that right now. Mr. Thomas did not realize you were getting hung up again when you went back in. So we're fixing that. So if you were on the wait list, we are going to get you a ticket, and we'll be emailing you. So check your email for updates. So again, we're really hoping you'll consider coming. And if you haven't already purchased a ticket, get it in by Friday. We're just looking forward to a really fun night, no pressure. Everyone will be together. It will just be fun. So, and then we have this whole great week coming up in 2 weeks of senior activities. So, Mr. Banis, do you want to jump in about shirt orders? Because I feel like there was a little bit of confusion on that one.
Yes. So there are two different types of shirts that we will be tie-dyeing on that Wednesday of senior week. One, we will be doing like a bleach dye of the black shirt. So if you bought that black senior shirt with your name across the back, you have the opportunity to bleach dye that, and it'll bleach dye it white and orange, our school colors, which is pretty cool. However, we are doing like your normal, regular, any color tie-dye as well. And if you would like to do that, that costs $5. I know this says orders are due by tomorrow, but once again, we'll do it till Friday, the 21st for our cohort 2 kids. I need to place the orders Friday afternoon so that they are printed by senior week. We need a 2-week turnaround for that. Those cost $5. I know many of you may have put on the form that was sent out earlier in the week your shirt size, but you will not get a shirt ordered for you unless you bring me, Miss Boyer, Miss Gelzo, Miss Martin, $5. So even though you told us what size you want, unless we have $5 in hand, no shirt will be ordered for you. Okay, so please stop down to my room, which is 110, Miss Boyer's 107 in the counseling center. Give any of us your $5. Make sure we have your name so we know who it is. I don't know all of you, so I want to make sure the name is there. But I need that by Friday. So you have Thursday and Friday to get us that money.
And I know that a lot of you guys filled out that form that we sent out, that Ms. Boyer sent out, that Google form, but we do need you guys to fill that out to let us know what you are planning on attending. So a lot of you did give Mr. Banis the shirt size. We got to make sure we get him that money, but we also need to know if you guys are going to be attending the senior sunset, because we're going to be planning a dinner for you guys there. And we need to know if you're going to be planning the parade of graduates, because we have to get a certain amount of buses for that. So please, please, please go ahead and fill that out. It's from Ms. Boyer. It's in your email address. It'll only take just a couple minutes to give us an idea of what you're planning on doing for senior year. Also with the parade of graduates, the great thing about having it on the 17th is that you guys don't have any classes that day. And Mr. Longbeck, am I right that they don't have to sign into homeroom on the 17th?
Correct.
So it's just the parade of graduates that day. And you guys will come to school at 8:45 in your caps and gowns. And we're going to put you on the big yellow school buses, just like you were in elementary school. We're going to bring you back to Windermere. We're going to bring you back to Smallwood. The whole thing is going to be about an hour, and then we'll get you back to school, and the rest of the day is yours. So it's a really fun event. Your teachers in elementary school really look forward to seeing you guys. The kids are really excited to finally be back in school and are really excited for some visitors to come. But I do need an idea of who's going to come to that, so that way I can make sure that everyone has a seat on a bus, because the buses are a little bit trickier this year. So make sure you guys fill out that senior form from Ms. Boyer.
And Ms. Boyer, if you could, I think you have the ability to post in the chat. Can you just post a link to that form right now in the chat, so anybody who hasn't done it yet
can do that.
can do it now?
Yeah, and then I just wanted to say that does not mean you're committed to coming. We are just going to make listservs from those of you who say you're interested in getting more information, and we're only going to email you information about the events you're interested in. So even if you check, yes, I'm interested, you can still not come. If something comes up, you have to work, you have a sports game. We know the sports schedules are a little wonky this year too. So if you're just interested in getting information about that, please click that you're interested in coming. We're going to make listservs, like I said, from those yeses, and we're only going to send information about the specific events to the people who said yes. So just make sure, even if you think you might be interested, still click yes for those. And I'll put that in the chat right now.
Thank you.
I did get, sorry, Mr. Lonzak, I got a couple questions in the chat about ordering black shirts. Unfortunately, it is too late. We did send out an order form and a couple emails a few weeks ago, but our second batch of black shirts have already been ordered. So your only option now is tie-dyeing the senior shirts that are white, and it says Amherst Senior Week 2021 on it with the big tiger logo in the middle. So it will have Amherst and senior on there. So make sure you give me those $5.
Mr. Banis, do you want to add anything about senior week forms?
Yeah, so I didn't know if there was another senior week slide or not. So starting tomorrow, so senior week, as you know, is a big team competition. You guys are going to create your own teams, from team name, team chants, team costumes, and there's all the different events throughout the course of the week. Monday is going to be a kickball tournament where your team can win a certain amount of points. Tuesday will be our outside lawn fair, where we have all of the different backyard games. We've got 5 different games, like minute to win it style games. Wednesday, there will be service hours, or service work we'll be doing, and you'll be getting points for the amount of garbage we pick up. We'll also be doing the tie-dye that day as well, and there will be an ice cream truck there, I believe, on Wednesday. Thursday, after school, your team will create a lip sync. So you'll pick your favorite school appropriate or radio edited song, and you will perform that on the big stage out front on the front lawn. We're getting the big stage from the town of Amherst, and you'll get points for that. And then Friday, we'll announce the winners. However, we need to know what the teams are. So starting tomorrow, if you kind of have been talking with your friends, whatever, I will have a form for you to fill out. I'll also send it out in an email, but I do need a paper version of it. So I'll have blank copies outside my room, but it's simply, what's your team name? Come up with a cool name. Who's your team captain? And I need the team captain's phone number on there as well, so I can get a hold of them. And then you're just going to put all the team members' names on there. You can have up to 15 people. All right. If you have a team of like 6, when we do the kickball tournament, we'll put 2 smaller teams together. So you're not at an unfair advantage, and we'll just share points that way. But we will need the team forms before we leave for Memorial Day. So that gives you a week to figure out what you want your team name to be, who the captain's going to be, and then just get me those forms. And then that gives you a week after that to work on costumes and to work on your lip sync as well.
A lot of questions coming in. I'll get to these, but I wanted to answer one now about caps and gowns. Those will be in, and the first chance for you to get them, I haven't ironed out the details, but probably on the day of Parade of Graduates. Like you'll come in, you'll get your cap and gown at the parade of graduates, you'll put it on, and that'll be the first day to get it. Most likely. So more to follow on that, but probably on June 17th, you'll get your cap and gown.
I was gonna also add in, so during our senior week festivities, we have the tie-dye shirt event, which is part of senior week on Wednesday or service day. But if you decide not to participate or you don't have a team that you want to participate with, you can still do the tie-dye shirt event. And you can still do senior sunset on Friday, June 14th, 11th, June 11th. Okay, and so we just want to make sure that again, that form that Ms. Boyer sent out and Mr. Lonzak just showed you a real quick preview of that. If you are interested in doing those events, even if you're not participating in senior week, make sure you indicate that so we can include you in the numbers.
And you can always come to these events and heckle your classmates on and make fun of their poor kickball skills. I mean, that's always fun.
And then hopefully you saw some new information from Mr. Pigeon about graduation, and we're excited that it will be Friday, the 25th at Key Bank, and so more to come on that. Is there anything else we're missing?
I wanted to go back to prom and testing or vaccination. Just again, be on the lookout for email communication. You will be needing to show us your vaccination card if you've been fully vaccinated in order to attend prom, or we're going to contact you about what you need to do to get tested. If you're not vaccinated and fully vaccinated, you're going to need to get tested for prom. It's not the end of the world. We're going to have a testing clinic here the day of prom, so we can do it right here sometime between about noon and 4 o'clock. You can just come in real quick, get tested, rapid test, and go. And that's free, and we'll help you out with that. So if you're worried about the vaccination or testing requirement, don't be. We can take care of that and help you as far as the testing requirement goes. Mr. Pigeon, there were a few questions about graduation and how that's going to look and guest requirements.
Just back to the vaccinations real quick, if I have a calendar in front of me, because you have to clear 14 days of your second dose. So we're kind of running out of time on the vaccine side if you haven't been vaccinated. So fully vaccinated, just so you know, means you've cleared 14 days after your second dose. So if you get a calendar out and you know when your second dose is, if it doesn't meet up with the 22nd, plan on coming here for a test or getting your own test or whatever you want to do. So that's just a little aside there. Graduation. We put a lot of work into really trying to figure this out. Our goal was to have, and you had expressed to me, your goal was to be together. So we will do it at Key Bank Center, a cool place to do it. Friday night, 7 o'clock. What you will want you there by 5:45, no later than that. So if you're marking your calendars, you would want to be leaving your house about 5 o'clock on Friday, and figuring out how to do that. They're going to open the doors for moms and dads 90 minutes before time as well. So any adult attendees that you choose, not always a mom and a dad, can head right to their seats, and there'll be ticketed seating. Your two adult attendees will be given a specific place to sit, and that has been the challenge in planning your graduation, is that the regulations in order to have larger gatherings are very onerous. Even though a lot of things are opening up and all that, those regulations are not off the table. So obvious things like, why don't we do it on our turf? We don't have enough room on our turf, believe it or not, for you and two of your parents, because we're set up in our capacity at the current rate, meaning what the current regs are. And they're only a couple weeks old. They came out on the April 27th. So we don't see them changing before the end of the year and surprising us. We're going to work with the Key Bank Center to make sure that we have access for your parents. And those dialogues are ongoing. So it's going to be a nice place for you to have a nice, secure, high quality graduation, where the Sabres, you're going to be the winners that day, because there's not always a lot of winning that goes on there, but you will be the winners, bringing the winner Tiger pride to the Key Bank Center. So mark your calendars. We'll have a ton more details for you on that, how you're going to get your tickets. Again, just to have this sort of gathering, you got to be tested or vaccinated again. So you're going to need to have that very, very handy. Don't lose it. Have your vaccine card. There's also something right now, I don't know if you're aware of or not. It's called the Excelsior phone app. Because you're getting your vaccines now, they have this cool app that's up, and you just type in the date of your second dose and it'll be on your phone. And that'll be something that you're going to want to do, because that might be the ticket into concerts this summer, and colleges are going to want this stuff. So, download that Excelsior app now so you're ready, and you type it in after your second dose. But I'm sure they'll still give you the card too. And then for all the attendees, including the adults that you're choosing to come with you, they need either the vaccine card or testing information, and they're going to need that right at the door for the Key Bank folks. So that's how graduation is going to work. We can only fit 2 guests currently. So that's the best we can do. We're going to continue to work with the Key Bank Center to see if we have any wiggle room there, but I really can't promise anything. I know it's a difficult, not the perfect situation for split families and things like that, but we truly had no other choice. And currently at this time have no other choice. I would highly recommend you get creative about making it a fun night for yourself and your family. We'll live stream the event. So your other friends and families can be kind of waiting for you there and take you out to a real nice dinner afterwards. You're going to be downtown. So there's a lot of different ways to make it be special. But before you get too tied up with how many guests we can have, we're going to be working with the Key Bank staff and the Sabres to really max out what our opportunity is there. So that's pretty much graduation. You will need your cap and gown. You will need to graduate, meaning you need to get all your work done and all your credits. You'll need to turn in your Chromebook before you can participate in graduation. So we're going to have all of those things in place and make it easy for you to do as those senior events unfold. You're going to have a fun June ahead of you, and a busy June. So get your plans together, get a calendar out, start writing things down, put it on the fridge magnet, all of these dates. So you're not scrambling, wondering what's happening from day to day, and the communication will be fast and frequent. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. Pigeon. That about wraps it up, but there are a few questions. I just want to go back here and make sure we're answered. Talked about graduation, talked about lunches, the Google form. How long after graduation will school email and your school account be active for? I believe almost a full year. I feel like you have about a year, and that's a good question, because you may want to pull a few things from your Google Drive or your Google email that might help you in college. So that might be a good end of the year thing for you to do, is to almost make a copy of everything, or all of your most important research papers and PowerPoints from a lot of your history classes. Those PowerPoints might help you in the future, but you'll have access to go back to up to it for about a year.
Yeah, if you don't have your own personal Gmail already, set one up real quick. And there's a quickie function to take everything from your Gmail account over to a new Gmail account. So I would bring everything over. You never know what might align with an assignment you have in college or whatever. And it's pretty quick and easy to do. You just transfer all the data over. Do it now. You don't have to wait. You can do it now.
Question about the stylist. If I lost my stylist, what do I do? You'll probably be billed $5 or something like that. I wouldn't worry about it too much now, but you should try to find it first, or go to the dollar store and buy one and turn that one in instead if you want to avoid getting billed. Caps and gowns will be available during that parade of graduates. Let's see, Miss Boyer's form. Again, fill out that form for senior events and senior week. Honor Society cords. We will probably have those available as well coming up soon. I haven't thought about that one yet, but we'll get you them. They are available out of my office. More to follow on that. Good question. But if you're a member of National Honor Society, you'll get an Honor Society cord. Spanish Honor Society has a separate cord. There's a CTE Honor Society. That's another cord. I do even believe there's a Captain's Club Varsity Council cord. So Be on the lookout for email about getting cords and things to wear as part of graduation. Community service, just remember that that was waived. You don't need to worry about community service as a graduation requirement. Vaccination cards. If you have the vaccination card on your phone, is that okay? Probably yes. I think front and back, we would need both sides of it though. But hopefully you have that physically. If not, a picture is better than nothing. But more to follow on getting us proof of vaccination. Question about Harkness. If I go to Harkness, can I start going 4 days a week? I believe the answer for most students is yes. If you haven't heard from us, yes, you'll just start going to Harkness 4 days a week next week as well. If you're coming here 4 days a week, you should be going to your Harkness program 4 days a week. Go ahead.
I'm just going to jump in. Did Harkness tell us that? Because the last direction I got was no. Okay, sorry.
It will update that. Yes, that's late breaking.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be able to go to Harkness and Kenton if you're part of that program 4 days a week for the last month. Okay, prom. Is the Statler requiring masks for fully vaccinated students at prom? That's a great question. Here's the general answer I'll give you about all of this. Number one, guidelines are changing very quickly. However, it's important to remember that school has a tighter level of these requirements than like non-school events like weddings would. We have separate guidelines we have to follow, hence the need for testing and probably masks. I would say the answer is probably going to be a yes. You're going to have to wear a mask at prom, except for when you're eating. Maybe that changes, and if it does, we will certainly follow that guideline. But at the moment, the guidance we have that we have to follow says very strictly, you do need to wear masks except for when you're eating. But that could change. So I don't want to say definitively.
And that kind of comes into graduation as well. You think, oh my God, this huge place, how can we not all fit in there? The regulations for schools are way more stringent than when you hear about it. But even when the Sabres had games, they could only get 2,000 people in there in that whole place. So they're very restrictive. I have these guidelines from New York State that I have to follow, and they're just for schools. They're tighter on schools because there's a lot of younger people at schools that can't and haven't been able to been vaccinated yet. The concept of how to keep track of who is vaccinated and not, and who's not wearing a mask is going to be something the whole society is going to have to deal with. Are people going to comply on an honor system? Are they going to require? This is all like very, very new territory, and things do change quickly. So we'll hold out hope that there'll be options. But if, I want to just be very honest with you. It's not up to the Statler because it's a school function. We have to follow the school rules because they might think, these are restaurant employees. Oh yeah, we had a wedding yesterday. No, it's not. It's a prom. It's totally different than a wedding because it's a school-based function. So I know that's not great news, but like we said initially, we worked very, very hard and went kind of up to the edge for you guys on even having a prom. We committed to it a long time ago because we wanted to make it happen for you, knowing that it wasn't going to be perfect, but we wanted you guys to have that opportunity. And I think it'll be pretty cool. You're going to be downtown. It'll be a nice venue. When you're done, you're going to have the world as an oyster outside there in downtown. You're going to make a lot of great, safe choices, but it'll be a really memorable night for you.
And final question, yearbooks. When will they be arriving? I do not believe Ms. McMaster is here. More to follow, but you should hopefully have them within the month, I would say. Definitely before the end of the school year, no doubt. I don't know when yet. Good question. I'll try to get an answer for you. So we're pretty far over on time here. Any final words from anybody? Mr. Pigeon, Martin, Ms. Gelzo?
I'll just add, something real quick. I had a different message for, the underclassmen because they're going to travel anywhere from 1 to 3 more years here. So they're moving towards normalcy within the school years ahead. It's a little different than the normalcy that you're going to be traveling. So I'll take the same approach I've taken in the past when it's around this time of year. Things get very celebratory. They get very exciting. They're fun, and you want to soak in all that fun while you can and be cognizant of making some really good and safe decisions. You know, you have lived through one of the most challenging times in the United States history. You have persevered, you've prevailed in a great, wonderful learning community. And that's because of you, Tigers, what you've done, stepped up to the plate and started knocking singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. And you're going to continue to do that with what you've built here and with that momentum. Just be cognizant of the pace and expectations are going to increase all of a sudden again. We kind of had a little bit of a downturn based on safety, but now everybody's eager to move out, hence some of your questions. We got to pick up the pace. You're going to need to pick up the pace heading into college and your workplaces and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to spending the rest of May and June with you folks, and I'll be seeing you at reunions as well. So make all those great decisions over the coming months and heading into your freshman college years.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day. If you have any other questions that come to your mind, shoot us an email or come and see us at any time. See you later. Have a good day.